Hey you! Got yourself a mountain bike? Want to make cool action videos? Well, let's go look at some camera options.
First up, we're looking at the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now you've got the action button here at the top with a small little microphone. On the left, this is where you can plug in your charging cable. At the bottom you got a removable battery and the SD card slot with the speaker. And you've got the mode button on the right hand side to switch on the camera. Next up, we're looking at the Eken camera. You've got the mode button here at the front to switch the camera on. We'll just see what it does. Okay, it goes on. A nice little screen here at the back. You've got a HDMI cable slot as well as the charging slot, and then this is where you put your SD card. You've got the selector switches and the action button at the top. This is marked as a 4K camera, but we will see what the settings say. And now the Wish camera. The Wish camera has got a OK button for action at the top. You've got one slot, put in your charger and a SD card slot. There is selector buttons on the right hand side, and you've got the mode button in the front to switch the camera on, and we'll see what it does. The Eken and the Wish camera are similar at the bottom. You can interchange their batteries. If you want to use them underwater, you're going to need a cover like this one. The camera does come out with this cover as well. Using the underwater cover makes the sound a little weird. So with the Wish camera and the Eken camera, you get this clip-on bracket, so that you can fit it onto any other extension or a harness or any other connection that you want to use to record outside. Looking at the resolution of the Wish camera, we've only got these few options, and 1080p looks to be the best option, so we're going to use this one for the comparison. Taking a look at the Eken camera's video resolution, you've got more options here, but if you look at the 4K option, you have it only at 15 frames per second. Now 15 frames per second is a little iffy for action shots. Then you've got 2.7K at 24 frames per second, which is also a little iffy for action shots. So we're going to leave it on 1080p at 60 frames per second for this comparison. For the GoPro, we've got 4K, 2.7K, 1080p and 720p options for video resolution. It's on 2.7K right now, so we're going to put it on 1080p to compare it with the other cameras. Looking at the frame rate options, we've got 240, 120 and 60, 30 and 24 frames per second. But for the comparison, we're gonna leave it on 60 frames per second. Okay, now to do some mountain biking. I'm going to take each camera down one of my favorite downhill tracks, and we'll see how they compare to each other. First up, the action camera ordered from Wish. The footage comes out very overexposed, and very shaky. Though they advertise it to have some wide-angle degree of view, it's clear that the field of view is pretty standard and no fisheye effect is present. Looking at the saturation, it's obvious that you'll need to do some color grading afterwards. It almost comes through as a raw version which needs some alterations in the editing software. This camera comes standard with a few mounts as well as the waterproof casing. It has a lightweight design, and the fact that you can remove the battery is great, but only if you can find a spare for sale somewhere. From fully charged, you have 90 minutes of battery life. The microphone catches mostly wind noise. Out of the three cameras, this one definitely comes in last place, but price-wise, it is the least expensive. No sugarcoating. This looks pretty bad, so let's move on. Next up, we'll take a look at the Eken camera. This is already a huge improvement to the Wish camera. The field of view is pretty good on this one. You get that fisheye effect, which is great for capturing sporting action. The color comes out a lot more natural. It is a bit shaky though, a lot less than the Wish camera. I'm sure if you have a gimbal type stabilizer, the footage will come out great. This camera comes standard with some extra mounts in comparison with the Wish camera, as well as a remote that straps to your wrist for remote control of either taking photos or video. You can remove the battery, and when fully charged, you have 90 minutes of camera on time. This one looks pretty good. It is maybe 3 or 4 times the price of the Wish camera, but it still comes in a lot cheaper than the GoPro. And if you get a stabilizer with this camera, you still might come out a lot cheaper than the GoPro. And now for the GoPro. Hands down, the GoPro will win in all aspects. We knew this going in, but compared to the Eken action camera, it is a lot more expensive. The GoPro Hero 7 Black comes standard with what they call hyper smooth stabilization, and it's awesome. For the field of view, the GoPro is set to super view, so you can clearly see my legs working in this one. But you have two more options called wide, which is a little less field of view than the super view, and then the linear, which is then less than the wide setting. I got the GoPro on a Black Friday special, which included an extra battery, a tripod / selfie stick with a telescopic handle, and a 32 gig SD card. The GoPro is waterproof without using any extra casing. The microphone on the GoPro performs a lot better as well. So in conclusion, the GoPro is obviously the best camera for mountain biking. But out of the three cameras, the Eken camera stands out. It's almost 5 times cheaper than the GoPro. You can even buy a stabilizer and still come in cheaper. But for sound quality, battery life, and more options when it comes to the settings, the GoPro takes the win. I hope that this video helps a bit for the average mountain biker, or just anyone interested in making action video clips of themselves. If you found this video interesting, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm no expert, but I'll give the answer to the best of my knowledge. So, I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe.